Hi, I'm Pam and I'm here to talk about retro video games. The game I'm talking about today was originally supposed to be a Terminator game. It's Journey to Silius. Journey to Silius was released for the NES in 1990. It was developed by Sunsoft, who had also made excellent games like Blaster Master and Batman. It could safely be categorized as either a platformer or a run-and-gun. You play Jay. He's on a mission to avenge his colonist father, who has been killed by terrorists. My first impression of Journey to Silius was that it was trying to emulate the early Mega Man games. The gameplay and platforming obstacles you'll face are similar. You'll also get access to multiple different special weapons to augment your basic pea shooter. And you have both a health and a weapon energy meter and can find pickups to help refill both. The game's first 4 levels all follow the same basic pattern. You'll have to run and gun your way through enemies and environmental dangers before fighting a sub-boss who is significantly tougher. When you defeat it, it will drop a new special weapon for you, which you get to keep for the rest of the game. Picking up the weapon will teleport you to a new room where you'll fight the final boss. There are 6 weapons in total, which can be accessed and switched to by pressing start. The machine gun fires in bursts of 3. The shotgun does a spread shot. The laser is a concentrated beam of damage. The homing missile will target onto enemies. And the grenade launcher really looks like more of a missile launcher that hits very hard. Using any of the special weapons uses up some of your gun energy meter, so I tended to only bring them out for bosses or particularly tough enemies, and relied on the basic handgun for the majority of the time. There are 2 types of capsules you can find from defeated enemies. Pink ones will give you back some life power, while blue will give you gun energy. The pink ones were very rare. I'd often go through an entire level without seeing a single one, so they really can't be relied on to help you recover from taking a few unexpected hits. The blue ones drop more frequently, but neither restore much in terms of your energy bars. The 5th and final level of Journey to Silius is a bit of an exception to the rest of the game, as it's an auto-scroller which contains no enemies. Just environmental obstacles and traps, followed up by 2 big boss fights. I found Journey to Silius very challenging. It's the kind of game that requires some memorization in order to get through it unscathed. There are a number of areas where taking damage just can't be avoided if you don't already know what's coming up. Places like this, jumping down to a new screen that you can't see yet. If you haven't already been through this, you'd have no way of knowing where you should land to avoid enemies on the ground or on the walls. Plus, your jumping trajectory is pretty much set. You can't adjust yourself much mid-jump. In this particularly frustrating part of level 4, you have to jump across falling platforms. Enemies often appear on screen just as you hit a certain point, and if you're already jumping and not firing your weapon constantly, they'll knock you into the abyss. Level 5 was also full of places where you needed to know what part of the screen to stay in if you wanted to make it safely through the obstacles. The game is quite short. A no-death run would take only about 20 minutes, while I spent significantly more time with the game myself because of the difficulty. The bosses ended up being the easiest parts for me. While they look intimidating, each follows a predictable pattern, and if you save your gun energy and choose a good weapon, they can be taken out without too much difficulty. Jay is not the most agile of player characters, but overall the controls were good. Though you can only fire directly in front of you, you can lay down to shoot things low to the ground, or avoid things, and everything is fairly responsive. While Journey to Silius was meant to be a Terminator game, Sunsoft lost the license at some point during development. They had to change the game's story and the planned artwork. However, I question how much else got changed, because the game still looks and feels like it could be based on the Terminator. Stage 1 is meant to take place in an abandoned space colony, but it certainly brings to mind the vision of Earth's future from the Terminator. All the enemies you'll be fighting in the game are robots, some quite familiar looking. The final boss sure looks like a T-800. I guess the terrorists fighting space colonization are all robots, because there are no other humans in this game. The story is kind of nonsensical, but also not really important. Journey to Silius looks and sounds great. Though I'm usually a fan of bright and colorful games, Silius uses a more restrained color palette to great effect. There are a lot of greens, blues, and grays used to give a metallic and futuristic look. Stage 1 creates my favorite environment by having war-torn cities and ominous-looking clouds as the backdrop to Jay's travels. The soundtrack is a little limited since there's really only 5 level themes plus the boss and title music, but overall, it's great. I particularly like the tracks for stages 2 and 4. They're quite bassy and a little more morose than the more upbeat themes of the other levels. The sound effects are also satisfying, especially that of your gun firing and enemies exploding. Journey to Silius is impressive, but also frustrating at times. Though the gameplay, music, and graphics are all very well done, it has the kind of level design that means you need to know what dangers are coming up ahead of you in order to avoid them. How much patience you have will probably be the determining factor for how much enjoyment you get out of the game. If you're fine with memorization and some repetition, then it's great. However, if you're lacking in the patience department, you might want to skip this one. If you want to see more, check out my review of Sunsoft's Blaster Master, or another of my videos. I have a Patreon if you're interested in supporting my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.